Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 8th, 2021, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Bitcoin rallies to its highs. The question is, will it rally higher? We're going to take a look at that in just a second. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day at 5:30 South African time. Out of the United States, we had Fed Chairman Powell be speaking in relation to the direction of the markets. Now, this is really important, so you do want to know what's coming out. And throughout the week, we're going to have a couple of things like that. So just be aware of it. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbol, the British pound retraces back to its support level while the South African rand actually gains. We're going to take a look at that. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both retrace. Looking at commodities, gold and oil gain. While we look at the stocks, they're trading pretty much in tandem with the market. And lastly, Bitcoin trading on its highs. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're going to take a look at the GBP US data daily. And look at that. We're right back on our lows, 134.80-ish level. Okay, we did hit this level, the upper limit. And so the question is it going to break this time? Okay, so you want to keep a sharp eye on this because this is really an important resistance level, because if it does break down, we could see it further get down to this 132-ish level. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're looking at this, because this is a major retracement. It's a little bit different than what we had before. Okay, before we had a couple of days of this, but this is a major sell-off here, so it's something to consider. Okay, if it does continue to break down. Looking at the South African rand, let's look at it. 14.96, getting stronger versus the USD. Look at that nice retracement, and it's nice. Okay, it looks good, and it could go further down. Okay, so just be aware of this little support level right here at 14.96. But if it does break it, remember the South African rand is a very, very widespread Forex symbols. So keep that in mind and just be very careful with it, because I would wait until it actually breaks this 30-day moving average with some gusto, with some volume, to see if it does break further down. Okay, so that's what I would look for there. So looking at commodities, let's look at gold first, because gold was really the one that showed us some promise last week. Okay, look at that. A nice little spike from 1774 up to 1816. Now we're still in range, right? 1828 is the upper range, 1721 is the lower range. So we're still there. Okay, so just be aware of it. Okay, but if we do get follow through and we do get some volume, then I expect this to go higher as this day actually unfolds this week. Now looking at oil. Oil also had an update after it hit that 79.45-ish level. We're trading at 82.45 right now. That's a minor resistance-ish area. It's pretty much trading in a range. I would let it trade. Let it show you what range it's trading with, and then you'll have more confidence to get into it. Let it prove it to you before you could jump into it. Now looking at the US markets, all right, we're going to first take a look at the Dow Jones. Look at that, 36,186. We're looking at a daily, and I just want to give us perspective here. Okay, about a month ago, we were trading at 33,800. We're now at 36,187. Okay, so that's a 2,000 plus points, 2,300 points rally from our lows of last month. Okay, so that's a decent rally on the upside. Now the question is, are people going to start taking money off the table? Perhaps. Okay, so that's what I would look for right now to see if there's going to be any kind of retracements. Now, when we look at the NASDAQ, it retraced a little bit, 1629. So you do see a little bit of a pullback. Now, however, when we look at the individual stocks, not much doing, all right? They're trading sideways. Apple is trading 150. Okay, not breaking down, not breaking higher, but not breaking down. Facebook is also traded to its highs of 339, okay, after hitting a low of 307. The question is it going to continue? This is a resistance-ish area for Facebook, so keep that in mind, okay? If this falters here, then we could definitely see it sell off. Looking at Microsoft also, we had a little bit of a sell-off after we hit 336 and retracing a little bit to 335, something to consider as well this week, okay? Lastly, looking at Tesla also, retracing a little bit, having some hard time breaking out above this 1235. And this is a spike. This is not a rally. This is what we call a spike, because, you know, ultimately, if it can't sustain this, then it's going to retrace. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, this is where all the action is at. Look at that, 66,979. This thing has been very, very strong. Now, we still have resistance at 66,732 ish level, okay, if we want to call that that. But keep an eye on this because this is a decent rally, and I'd like to see if it does follow through and push higher. And if it pushes higher, we're at new highs and it could go to 70K. So keep that in mind as we go into this week's trading. This is Fred Razak, and I wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.